Thank you, Chairman. Good afternoon. Your budget requests funding to transition local chief of clerks, prothonotarians, and their key deputies to the unified judicial system. Could you explain a little bit more about this transition and the timeline involved?
The transition is from local officials with local political ties and local agendas, if you will, to a more uniform and hopefully professional approach to the job statewide. And I don't say that with any disrespect for all the elected officials. By and large, they do a fine job. But everybody does it differently, and everybody has different quirks and different ways they do things. We've just tried to complete a study to determine the number of civil cases that have languished more than 2 years statewide, county by county. We came up with a county that said there were 0. Well, we know that's not true, and when you talk to the PJ, they will not be given the figures by the clerk of court or the pathonotary of their county. We have another one where the statistics are outrageous in the other directions. I forget 2/3 or more of their cases show up as 80% show up as being overage. And again, they can't get the numbers from the local elected officials. Now, these are extremes, of course. But frankly, these are filing officials. These are people who accept filings, docket them, and route the paper. And again, some with great efficiency, some with less efficiency. But what was necessary for the system 100 years ago or 50 years ago does not seem to be nearly as significant anymore, particularly given automation, where things are more and more filed electronically, they're maintained electronically, they're passed electronically, and the need for someone to examine them with the sword of independence as their claim to fame has passed. It really has. The transition would be to make them state employees, and certainly under the control of the president judge and professional. And the hope is that this will allow much greater efficiency, much less nepotism, if you will, getting people who are there, trained on their merits, and in the end, it should be a major improvement in efficiency. As far as cost, in the great scheme of things, it isn't going to be a lot. It'll be transferred to the state, but the savings in other areas to the state will offset. I think it's all but $1.5 million. I think is the number.
The amount of money that would cover them is presently given to the counties by the state, and that would just be transferred to the Judiciary to cover those as state employees. And the County Commissioners Association has voted to support this, as has about 2/3 of the clerks and prothies when we've gone to their association, explained to them what they do. And there's a counter to this too. If they're really good, we'd like to keep them in the system rather than having them be voted out of the system. Come in as professionals who know their job and can do it efficiently. So we believe it'd be a win-win situation in helping court unification.
Thank you. I do appreciate that CCAP supports that and that their fees will be transitioned. You also had a $309,000 line item for your court administrators to assist in this transition. Do you expect that to be a one-time thing, and once it's transitioned, it would go forward without that?
PC staff.
That's actually to increase the staff because we would need more supervision of the there'll be that
Additional
much.
employees. 200 additional employees eventually.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Pine tells me it'll be 200 additional employees who will come to the into our system if it comes to pass. So that number is just for supervisory personnel, not for the salaries and benefits, which will be countered by less funding to the counties to pay for their court services,
Okay.
basically.
And lastly, I'm sure that in this transition, you've thought about retirement and the pension issues that we're already facing. I'm sure that you factored that in, and am I correct?
Yeah, yes, you're correct.
Okay.
We've done this previously with the court administrators in each of the counties. We've absorbed them into the system. We've looked at their pension retirements, their credits they have, things like that. And that was been a pretty good situation. So now we have a person in each county who's our employee that can bring to us any problems that might happen. Unfortunately, in Luzerne County, that clerk also got arrested for embezzling funds. So that wasn't a good situation for us at all in that county.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.